Reese is pretty humble, so she wouldn't tell you guys this, but she's had a pretty breakout year. She started every single game as a true freshman. How's the season gone from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I came down here and I was like, I want to start. I want to be scoring goals. I want to be like making assists. That's the intentions that I had when I came down here. That's not going to happen unless you work for it. That was always in the back of my head, like every second matters. Like the coaches might not be here, but like the captains are going to report back and like film like all of this. So
which one of our uniforms do you think is your favorite?
Personally, I love the pink ones.
Same.
I love white, like the all white.
You do?
That's my favorite.
Really?
I think that's a very like hot take.
I would say easily the checkered or the orange. No?
I don't like the orange.
Okay, white jersey, hot take.
Yeah.
What up, Vol Nation? We're excited to bring a new show to you called Everything School. I'm your host, Kate Runyon. I'm a sophomore on the women's soccer team. We'll be dropping weekly episodes featuring all types of student athletes at the University of Tennessee. Check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your pods. Follow us on social media for highlights of the show in the links below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate your guys' support. Hope you enjoy the show, and go Vols. Vol Nation, we're back another week, another episode of Everything School. We have a very special guest, my teammate, Reese Matttern. Reese is the first of my teammates to come on the podcast. We're very excited. She's here with us. She's a freshman. She plays forward, my partner forward.
Nugs.
We play up top together. Reese, tell us a little bit about where you're from, your family.
Yeah, so I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia, which is the college town of UVA. Basically, my mom's side's all from California, kind of West Coast area. And then my dad's all from the East Coast. So we definitely have like a mix in there. So my family spends a lot of time traveling. And then I have a younger brother who's a junior in high school. He played soccer all throughout high school, which was awesome because, I mean, obviously I'm playing soccer here. So he was kind of just like my training buddy, but super close, and I miss him like every day.
Did you live in Virginia your whole life? Did you grow up there?
Yeah, I lived in Virginia my whole life, but I definitely like spent so much of my summers and winters out west. Like that's a huge part of my family and like kind of my childhood.
How far did you live from UVA's campus?
Literally like 15 minutes.
Dang.
And then like some of my best friends like lived on UVA, so we were kind of just always in the mix of that college life.
Was that a big thing for you growing up? Was everybody like, oh, is Reese going to stay home? Like, is she going to go to UVA?
Yeah, that was definitely like a huge thing growing up. And especially when I got into the recruiting process, there was a lot of talk. Like everyone was like, nah, she's not going to go anywhere else. She's going to stay. She's going to go to UVA. And I mean, that was definitely one of my choices. But when it came down to like truly picking, like Tennessee is where I wanted to be. Yeah. And honestly, I think like growing up in the town that like people want you to go to school and everything. It's just like you've lived there your whole life. Like I just definitely wanted to change.
That's how I was. I'm 15 from Boulder. And the first time I got recruited, it was between Boulder and the University of Florida. And I was like very like, I don't know, I don't want to stay home. But like Boulder's like I mean, it's a great school. It's very pretty. It's not Tennessee, but it is very pretty. And I was kind of like, I don't really want to stay that close because you spend your weekends there hanging out and you're with your friends. So I totally get that part of it.
Yeah.
What was it like? Like you played obviously soccer in high school. Did you play any other sports?
Yeah. So I played soccer in high school, and then my freshman year, I ran track, which personally I really wish I'd sticked with a little longer. But then when I switched to a club soccer team in Richmond, which is like a city an hour away from Charlottesville, I had to kind of like prioritize that. And there wasn't enough time to like run track because the drive to practice would like take up my whole afternoon. It was like hour and a half to get to practice, hour and a half. So there was no chance for me to like double up on practices or right after school go to track and then go straight to club practice, which I think is honestly a bummer because I did find success in track.
Yeah, let's not gloss over the track part here. Reese and I had beef when she first came to campus because my entire life I've been the fastest, the strongest, and Reese shows up and she is like on another planet fast. Like you made me look slow and I'm not slow.
Kate Runyon, you are not slow. You are not slow.
Like Reese has superhuman like speed.
Yeah.
Do you or do you not hold a national record? Or a national title?
So yeah, freshman year, this is kind of where like right after my track years dropped, years only being one.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. I ran the 300, which in high school, okay, and this is the part where like, clearly I am not very knowledgeable in track. I mean, I only ran it once, but that's where I'm like, if I only ran it once, like imagine what it would be like if I kept going with it. But so I ran the 300 and indoor track because I would only have time to run track in the winter because of club being like fall and spring.
Off season.
And freshman year, I set a record for the fastest 300 time, which is pretty awesome. And like thinking back to that, which reoccurs in my head all the time, like why did we not keep running?
You like missed a shot. You're like, what was I doing, Reese?
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly loved track. Like when I did it was so fun. And like, that was the first time, like I played basketball growing up, like in middle school for like my middle school team. I did like tennis at our country club. Like I would do golf.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
it was nothing, it was nothing like super serious. So then like actually being on like a high school track team, which still isn't like, you know, anything crazy. Like, but it was just like, this was a break from soccer. And one thing about me that a lot of people, obviously I feel like don't always enjoy, I personally love to run.
Yeah.
Maybe not like sprints like we do in practice, but like.
The other week we had the worst experience.
So anyways, yeah, sprints maybe not like over and over I find the most enjoyable, but you know, going for like a 4-mile run, that's something I do enjoy and I honestly find peace in. So during the time that I was running track, that honestly was such a break from soccer. And I was like, this is just like something so separate. And track is an individual sport. So, I mean,
when I also ran track for 2 years in high school. I ran my sophomore year and then my senior year.
Yeah.
And it was kind of stressful though because it was individual. Like soccer, if you mess up, you know your team has your back, but track, like
I know.
If you screw up, you're done.
Yeah. And I honestly, that's like where I found, like I can completely see that side. But like I think I found peace in like it being like, it's on you. Because sometimes, you know, you feel the pressure, like you got to work for your team. Like if you mess up, it's like you got like a whole team behind you, but like you got to show up for your team. So obviously that's like a huge part. And I love being part of like a team sport.
Yeah. You were driving, what, an hour to practice there and back each night in high school?
Yeah. So basically my Richmond United practice, that was the club team I played for.
Okay.
And that club team was in the ECNL platform. So basically through all my life, I had played for our local club team called Skyline Elite, which obviously like it was a good club. It was close to home, and like playing on that team, I was obviously one of like the top players, being like some of my best friends I went to high school for. We were always like some of the top individuals. So that was obviously awesome. Like you love that aspect. But like once you got into high school and I was like, the thoughts of like playing in college were there. I was like, I need to push myself and I need to be on a platform that like college coaches are going to see me and like where I'm going to be pushed. Like I might not always be the best player. So sophomore year, I made the switch to Richmond United and I actually hurt myself really bad. I tore the ligament called the Liz Franck in my right foot, which honestly is not very common. Like I'll bring that up to people and I'll be like, yeah, this happened. They'll be like, have you ever torn your ACL? Like, have you ever had any serious injuries? And I'm like, I tore my Liz Franck. And they're like, what? Like, what is that? Like, I don't even know. It just doesn't happen to a lot of people. I think it's actually pretty common in football. Okay. But anyways, so like recruiting for soccer, obviously like you can get the phone calls, you can start talking to college coaches June 15th of going into your junior year. So this injury like happened in the spring going into my junior year. So it couldn't have been worse timing. Yeah. But I kind of just accepted it and I was like, I'm going to send film. I'm going to still reach out. Like they can't physically see me, but I was going to be cleared and like good to go by that fall. I was just going to really have to like pick it up and like do everything I can to get back on like the coach's like board and everything. So being part of that bigger club that had more exposure, like couldn't have helped me more. And like, if I had stayed at my old club, I know I could have like still reached my goals, but I also met some of my bestest friends at this club and like made the most amazing memories, traveled. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's super cool. Yeah. What was your recruiting process like? How early into your recruitment did you hear from Tennessee?
So this actually kind of like, I don't really know. So on June 15th, Joe had reached out to me and it was like literally at midnight. And I'm not gonna lie, like there
Was it actually?
Yeah, it was literally 12 o'clock.
You setting that alarm.
Yeah. And I was like, I know the next day when I woke up, I was like, it's June 15th. Like, let's see who we hear from. But like, I was still up, and I don't really stay up that late, just like randomly. And so then it was 12 o'clock, and it hadn't hit me. I was like, I wasn't sitting there like, oh my God, 12 o'clock. I'm like, because I just didn't really expect anyone. But there we go. And then Tennessee's literally at 12 o'clock.
They were the first person who reached out to you.
And I also thought it was just like, kind of like crazy because again, I was hurt. And like, I had been reaching out to a lot of like East Coast schools and like, maybe Tennessee's considered East Coast, but I mean more like.
Leave your vote in the comments.
Maybe like, anyways. So I had been reaching out to like UVA, Virginia Tech, kind of some northern schools, more coastal schools.
Okay.
So then when I heard from Tennessee, I was like really shocked, but I did hear from them June 15th. So the very start of the recruiting process.
Look at that.
And I was like, this is an SEC school, good SEC school. They had just come off winning the SEC. I was like, all right, this is awesome. But then I was like, thinking to myself, I was like, I mean, I really got to work this fall because I had been hurt, hadn't been seen. I was like, it's time to pick it up. So then my ECNL team, Richmond United, traveled to Nashville, Tennessee. And the ECNL holds a bunch of showcases like all throughout the year. There's like ones in Florida, Arizona, literally Texas, everywhere. And so this Tennessee one was huge. Like all the schools I had been talking to were like, we can't wait to see you play. And, like it was literally like they had been talking to me, but they hadn't seen me play.
This was one of your first tournaments back, right?
Yeah, this is like I was just being like cleared. I was like, okay, like there's a lot on the line. Like this is first impression, everything like that. And so basically Tennessee came, UVA came, Vanderbilt came, Bama came, like a bunch of different schools were there to watch me play. And I was like, literally like best showcase of my life. And I was like, this couldn't have worked out better. Aww. So
I actually think so. Reese and I met each other. I was visiting Knoxville after I had committed, and you were here on your official visit.
Yeah.
And who else was here? Was Kaden here? Jasmine
and
Kaden.
Kaden was here too. But one of our teammates, Kaden Norris, is from Tennessee.
Yes.
So she was just here.
She was like here watching the game. But that's when me and you met because we had kind of been talking online. I think did I DM you?
Yeah, I think
Joe like told me he saw you at a showcase and he was like, Reese played really good. Like, we're super excited. We hope we get her. And I'm like, okay, I got this one, Joe. I'll reach out. And then we like started Snapchatting and our moms became friends on
that was a big
Instagram DMs. Reese, you also vacation in Colorado, which is home state, obviously.
Yes.
Like, how long have you been going to Colorado and do you like it there?
Yeah, okay. I love Colorado. It's literally like my favorite place. People always ask me like, what do you want to do after college? I mean, if the possibility is to go play pro, that would definitely be the possibility. And like, I think that's where my mind is towards too right now. But living out west would be like a dream. And specifically Colorado. And when I tell people that, they look at me like I'm crazy. But
it's the best.
I think like growing up there like has made me want to live there so bad. But my mom's mom has a house in Vail, and she's had it since like my mom was in college. And so it's just been in the family forever. So many memories within that house. And like with my family living on the West Coast and like us all the way out in Virginia, that's kind of a place where like we meet up when we get the chance. So it's just like a really, you know, holds so many memories. And it's like, that's when I get to see my family. Not only that, but like we get to ski. And like, if I wasn't a soccer player, I would probably dip my toes into skiing and try to no track. Well, definitely track, but I think then skiing.
Yeah. What is your favorite place that you've skied?
My favorite place is probably Beaver Creek, which is in Colorado. I don't know. Are you familiar with Beaver Creek? Okay. So Beaver Creek is like 15 minutes from Vail, and Vail is like a very known skiing resort. It's huge, but Beaver Creek is like on the smaller side. And the reason why like I find this to be my favorite is just literally because of like how many trips we have gone there with the different people. Like my best family friends have come there with us, and like that's what makes it my favorite because like we've gone to Vail. It's been so fun. It's huge. It's like definitely like better skiing. Yeah. But like the people who have come to Beaver Creek with us have like made the trips. So
that's very fun. I have a confession to make.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I think you do.
I know what you're gonna say.
I obviously born and raised in Colorado. I live in the suburbs between Denver and Boulder, so I'm like 25 from the base of the mountains. Yeah. And I've never been skiing or snowboarding in my entire life.
this
Because when I told you this, you were so upset, Reese.
No, and literally, like, my mom was like, oh my God, like, Kate's from Colorado. That's awesome. Like, I bet she skis. Like, you love to ski. Like, I know you guys could, like, go on trips together. And I was like, wait, that's so true. I didn't even think about that. You literally tell me you've never gone skiing, and I was like, okay. She's from Colorado, but she doesn't ski. Maybe.
Not my brightest moment.
Yeah.
Not my brightest moment. Let's get into, obviously, like, you got recruited, you ended up committing to Tennessee. Can you talk us through how you chose Tennessee?
Yeah. So, honestly, like, I personally would never really go to school up north just because, like, just kind of the vibes of the schools up there. Like, I love the South. I love the vibes of the school down here, especially Tennessee. Like, when I came here, I was literally like, this is where I want to go. UVA had been on my mind, just like, you know, hometown. Everyone was like, you should go to UVA. Like, we think you're going to end up at UVA. But, like, I came down here, and I had never been to an SEC school before. Yeah. Like, I had never toured an SEC school. And seeing the facilities, seeing, like, the huge college town. Because, like, UVA is pretty big. Yeah. It's a decent size, but nothing compared to this. And, like, the athletics there are, like, obviously great. But, like, again, nothing like this. Yeah. So
something that's so special about Knoxville is how, like, we obviously, I mean, I guess you could say we're a college town, but we have the city, and the city revolves around our sports. Yeah. And so I just think it's such a fun place to be a student athlete and to come to school at, just because we have so much fun and there's so much to do, you know?
Yeah.
What were the deciding factors between you picking Tennessee over UVA?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously distance played a little bit into it. I mean, you could either go to school 15 minutes away or 5 hours, which is the distance from home. And personally, like, 5 hours is like a perfect medium. Like, I was looking at Vanderbilt, which is like 8 hours away, which is like, can your parents like really drive 8 hours every weekend? Like, I think my mom has come down to like probably almost every home game, because 5 hours on a weekend, like, truly isn't that bad. And then, so that was definitely one thing. Like, I looked at the distance and I was like, 5 hours, that's really doable for myself and my family. And then also came down to just like what I wanted. Like, I wanted a really good soccer school that was going to be competitive and that was going to push me and that was going to like help me grow. But at the same time, I wanted to be at a school that I would love if I wasn't playing soccer. And that's exactly what Tennessee gave me.
Yeah. Perfect. I could not agree more. Yeah. What were your expectations coming into your freshman year, coming here in the summer?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think everyone, like, well, not everyone, but anyone who's going into D1 soccer knows fitness. Like, that's just, like, thrown at you, like, all summer. Like, the fitness packets, like, everything we see on social media. It's like, the beep test is going to kill you, all this.
It will.
So, yeah, don't get me wrong. So I think, like, all summer, I was just, like, and I was texting you the whole time,
You were texting me the whole time.
I was like, Kate, like, scared. Like, what if this isn't enough? Like, I'm working out every day.
You were so nervous, like, in tears, nervous, texting me. And then we got to campus, and I was like, you're chilling, dog.
But I think that was just, like, a huge expectation coming here. I was like, I need to be as fit as possible. Like, the coaches expect that from you. Your teammates expect that for you. And it sets you up, like, so well when you actually get into the season.
Yeah. So. I feel that's a big part of, like, how our team, like, our team's foundation, at least performance-wise, like, you have to be fit and you have to be able to compete physically. And so, no, I thought you were so worried and you got here and you were perfectly fine.
I
know. Reese is pretty humble, so she wouldn't tell you guys this, but she's had a pretty breakout year. She started every single game as a true freshman. And you had some pretty, like, big goals and some big moments for us. Were you expecting yourself to play as much as you did? Did you have any, like, thoughts in the back of your head, or how's the season gone from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I came down here and I was like, I want to start. I want to be scoring goals. I want to be, like, making assists, like, all this. Like, that's the intentions that I had when I came down here. But obviously, like, that's not going to happen unless you work for it. Yeah. And I think from the beginning of the season, like, even when we were doing captain's practice, I was like, that was always in the back of my head, like, every second matters. Like, the coaches might not be here, but, like, the captains are going to report back and, like, film, like, all of this. So
if I remember right, do you remember that one captain practice? I mean, you were on the same team.
Yeah.
And we,
I know
like,
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I was like, this is a deadly duo.
We lit it up. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of led into, so Reese and I have a handshake, a goal celebration, and like a pregame handshake. We're also soccer tennis partners.
We are.
Explain soccer tennis to the listeners.
Okay.
And our team's relationship with it.
Okay, so soccer tennis is quote unquote our activation before games. Whenever we travel, whenever we have home games, we always do this before our games. And this is very competitive.
Cutthroat.
Very competitive. I mean, we have people like matching outfits. We have people digging into each other. I've actually broken the net once. But it's very serious, and you play 4 rounds, and if you make it to the very end, you're out, and then there's one final game. Kate and I are yet to win.
We have some work to do.
Yeah.
But we have 2.5 more years to do it?
Yeah.
2.5 more years to do it.
We are very consistent.
Yes.
We are very consistent. We get to the last round, and then we fumble. But we are
Every
consistent
single time.
because we make it to the
How many
last
times
round.
have we made it to the final?
I think we make it to the final 4 probably like every other.
That's
at least.
good.
I mean, for real.
I feel like we do make it
we
every
really
other.
do. And then I'm like, all right, Kate. And then it's one of us just sells on the
The thing is,
worst.
like, me and Reese will make the craziest save, and
Yeah.
then the next play, we'll just let the ball drop between
No,
us.
it's
We'll look at it
literally
like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Reese always gets upset, though, because I don't know if we necessarily see eye to eye on the strategies.
No, we don't.
Do you want to
Kate
explain?
Kate runs up to the net. Kate runs up to the net, and it's literally like, I got it.
I'm like trying to do
I'm
like
just
some
standing
D-up,
back there like this. I'm like, no, we didn't agree on this, and it doesn't seem to be working.
So I got fired from that strategy. I'm no
Yeah.
longer allowed to do that, but we've still been doing well.
Yeah, we still have been.
Yeah, I think this spring a big focus point for us will be, improving the soccer tennis skills.
I'm making one of my spring goals to win soccer tennis. Yeah.
Lofty goal.
Yeah.
Lofty. Next year, you guys can clip this up. You can put it on whatever. Next year, Reese's sophomore year, my junior year, we're going to be, what goal should we set? 3-time soccer tennis champs? 5-time?
6-time.
6-time.
Let's double that 3.
Okay, 6-time soccer tennis champions.
That's like basically
That's like a
every
dynasty.
time. That's like basically not every, but that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's
It's a lot for us right
Maybe
now,
like
too.
an every other winner. Or every other winners.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think what else. We're soccer tennis partners. We have our handshake. Should we talk about our hair this season?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically Kate and I, we matched basically every game with bows. And at the beginning of the season, we were like, let's correlate the bow to the jersey. That fell off really fast.
It fell off really fast.
And then I
because we
feel
ran
like
out
there
of
were some
bow.
moments where you were like, no, like blue goes with orange. And I was like, no, blue goes with white.
Yeah,
And
we weren't
then-
really seeing eye to eye on the Summit blue and the orange situation,
No,
but
we weren't.
we figured out the pink game. We both wore a pink bow. Which one of our
Yes.
uniforms do you think is your favorite?
Personally, I love the pink ones,
Same.
but that's not really that's kind of a one-time thing. I love white, like the all white.
You do?
That's my favorite. And I
Really?
think that's a very hot take.
That is a hot take.
Yeah.
I would say easily the checkered or
No.
the orange. No?
I don't like the orange. I like the checkered, but
Oh yeah, sorry. Let's talk about how much Reese doesn't like her orange. Reese decided she was going to intentionally rip her jersey
Okay.
and
Okay.
so that she could get a new one because she didn't
Our
like the
ops
size.
doesn't know this, but anyways. If
Okay,
your
I
name is
didn't
intentionally-
Macaulay, any of our managers, if your name is Todd, you did not hear this on the podcast.
It kind of just happened.
But Reese, it did not even, I think in the back of your head, like it might have happened naturally, but in the back of your head, you were like, yeah,
No,
this is
it
awesome.
happened naturally.
They're going to give me a new
and
jersey.
then I was like, wait, this is awesome. I was like, this is what I need. And then it didn't work out for me.
So the jerseys, they run pretty small. And I do want to say, I think I warned you to size up.
Yeah.
But
And
you
I
didn't.
swear I did. I swear I did. I tell
I'm not
Macaulay
taking your
every
word
day.
for it.
I
I'm
tell
not taking your
Macaulay
word
every
for
day,
it.
and she's like, you put in your size.
Maybe next year. By the way, our equipment team, we love you guys. We're very
Yeah.
grateful. This is a Reese problem. This is not a you problem.
This won't happen next year.
So Reese is like stretching out, like doing crazy things with the jersey to make sure it fits.
Yeah.
Because they're women's cut, so like they're naturally a little bit, like they just fit a little bit smaller. And like before every game, Reese is on some I don't even know what you're on. Like, you developed some crazy techniques.
I'm pushing, I'm pulling.
And I want to say we're in Alabama, playing Alabama.
Yeah.
And we're in the locker room putting our jerseys on, about to walk out for the game, and I look at you, and it's ripped.
No.
Like, the entire colors. I'm like, Reese, what happened? You're like, I don't know. And I'm like,
we go out onto the field. We're about to like line up, like announcer's about to say names and everything. And then like one of my teammates, SK, is like, Reese, what's happened to you? Like, what happened to your jersey? And I'm like, shut up. And Macaulay hears, and she's like, what happened to your jersey?
Because the whole season, Reese has been like, I hate this jersey.
Yeah.
This jersey's so small.
Yeah.
So we go in. This is fast forward like a week and a half. And
Yeah.
we're playing, because we had a stretch of a few home games. We're in Arkansas. And you go to put on your jersey, thinking it's going to be some new size. No, they just stitched it up for you.
Yeah. And I think it was just like tad bit smaller because it was like,
You were so mad because it was even smaller.
it's like, are you serious? This is not what I expected.
Anyone who's listening, if you have power over Reese's jersey size next year, please help a girl out.
Please.
Because that was a lot of drama.
It's a lot for nothing.
Okay, white jersey, hot take.
Yeah.
What else do we have? The bows. It was kind of a joke throughout the season that the bow, me and Reese, I would say we both played pretty tough.
Yeah.
Did we each have a talking to this season because we were close to our yellow card limit?
Yes. That's
Is
where
that-
we were in sync.
Yeah. Is that for lack of effort? No.
No.
I would say you're still a good sport. I'd say we're both still a good sport.
Yeah.
We just sometimes,
100%.
we don't have as much
Emotions
control
take
over.
the best of us sometimes.
Yeah, emotions take the best of us. The bow was definitely a cover up for our true self.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was told, who told you that? Like a friend?
My best friend from home texted
Yeah.
me that after I was like telling her about a game. She's like, the bow's a cover up for your guys' true self.
It's true.
Because me and Reese are always
It's
on
true.
some crazy stuff. What are your hobbies outside of soccer?
Yeah. Outside of soccer, like I said, I love running. Like I literally was telling Joe like a couple weeks ago, like I can't wait for winter break when like I have free time to run.
Yeah.
And then I don't know who's next to me, and they were like, "You're crazy." Like that's gonna be
The
where
whole
I'm,
team.
Like, yeah. But like that's something I literally, like I said, finding so much peace in.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like this is another thing, like walking. Like I sometimes will have practice, and then like later at like 5, I literally go walk for like 2 hours. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
2 hours?
Yeah. Like
You also, like,
along the
drives.
river. Yeah. Drives. I was about to get on that. Where I'm from is like surrounded by woods. It's like kind of like farms with like kind of like roads that go down for literally miles. Like I will take my dog and I in the car and go drive for like an hour, and it is the most peaceful thing.
So
and it's just like an
cute.
escape.
You do have, if you send me a picture of the dog, we'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
But Reese has the cutest dog. We met him when we went to play UVA in our exhibition, which you're going to need to talk about that.
Yeah.
We all went to Reese's house as a team, and your family was so great. Your mom was cute. They
Yeah.
like fed us, and we had fun. Was that cool, being able to go home?
Yeah, that was like honestly the weirdest feeling. Like it genuinely was so weird. Like I told Cindy and Skylar, who were the twins on our team, I was like, this is just like the weirdest feeling. Like we hadn't been home yet from college. I was like, the first time I'm going home since coming to Tennessee, like is for a game. I was like, I've literally watched like UVA play on this field my whole life, and now
Yeah.
I'm playing here. Like what is going on? And like when we went out to go do like kind of like walkthroughs and everything, I was like, this just feels so weird. But then like when I was out there, I kind of like forgot like where
Yeah.
I was, and like I literally knew so many people in those stands. Like kind of just like everything like went through my head. I was like, you just need to play.
Yeah.
And like kind of everything settled.
What a
And-
special full circle moment, too.
It was literally like first college game
Yeah.
at UVA. Like
Awesome.
never happens. Like when was the last time Tennessee played UVA?
Like, not in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was such a cool experience.
We're going to move into the fast break segment of the podcast, which is 5 quick questions.
Okay.
Just to get to know you, what is your favorite song?
My favorite song. Okay, this is kind of like a random, but like Wow Freestyle by J Rock.
Okay.
I love to listen to that before like every game. It gets me so right. But I don't know if that's considered my favorite song. I have way too many.
Do you have an honorable mention?
Honorable mention? No. Oh, I love Mount Joy.
Mount Joy.
Do you know what Mount Joy is?
No, I've never
No
heard
one
of
knows what Mount Joy is.
They're
No
good?
one knows what Camps is. Camp, sorry.
I feel like I've heard Camp.
You do, with like 2 A's?
Yes.
Okay.
What's a song by them?
My favorite song by Camp is Light.
Okay, will you sing it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not singing on this. Sorry, but everyone go listen to Camp. It's so good.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie is $1 Million Baby. It's on Netflix. They just added it, I think. But I haven't always been on there.
What's it about?
It's about this girl and like she's like a boxer and stuff. It's kind of just like Rocky. Like,
Okay.
I love those movies.
What is your favorite celebration?
My favorite celebration is the celebration I hate with Kate Runyon.
Should we show them?
Ready? We made this up. Like, when did we make that up?
It was
Literally,
so jokes
like-
after a practice, and then we just started doing
And
it.
I don't,
Like,
it just came to us.
yeah, we'll put a video up of us doing it. I think they got it after you scored your first goal in our second exhibition.
Yeah, I was like literally looking for Kate. I was like, where is she?
Reese.
Yeah.
What about your favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete, Trinity Rodman.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. That is all we have for today's episode. Reese, thank you so much for coming on. Love you. I'm so proud of you. And we'll put her socials up if you want to follow her and follow the rest of the season. So go Vols.
See you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Everything School. Hope you guys enjoyed our conversation. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you find your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. You already know Rock Media has you covered for all things Tennessee athletics, and be sure to follow us on social media and check out the highlights from the show. Once again, I'm Kate Runyon. See you next time, and as always, go Vols.